right, well, let's back up. I just wanted to register that point. People think that I'm not goddamn. I was in a pretty good mood after I'd seen SmackDown and King of the Ring. Easy to digest. The important things happened. Nobody that I'm aware of was, hospitalized.
You know what we are starting to see a little bit of? I have to bring it up to you right now.
Yes.
Jim is being paid by WWE. That's why you say nice things about their program, is because they're paying you, is something I've seen people say.
No, I don't even, thanks to the Peacock deal, I don't even get a royalty check from them anymore. Many other people don't as well. But no, it's actually just because except for the refrigerator. I'm surprised she didn't hospitalize everybody she worked with, but otherwise they're professionals presenting a professionally done program in front of huge audiences with incredible network quality footage of people who are stars and fans who are jumping up and down because of those people, not because they're seeing miscellaneous goddamn human beings run over with a fucking steamship. So that's a couple of points there. But we can go into a few of them because a few of them were involved in the SmackDown, which was Friday night, May 24th. It seems an eternity ago now. In the before times, the pre-fucking no electricity days. I mean, here's the thing, the Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn era, Brian, had rhinoceri, is that what we decided the plural was of rhinoceroses? Had rhinoceri and penguins or whatever flying out of Matt Riddle's ass. Remember that?
Of course.
Well, this new regime, after they got rid of Vince and his fucking buck-toothed crony Kevin Dunn, they have giant golden eagles landing on the dome of the arena in fucking Saudi Arabia with an aerial drone shot of same. The special effects now are better than King Kong on this fucking program. Did you catch the giant golden eagle, the symbol of Saudi Arabia? Because they're all flying high like eagles over there.
Well, because this is all a paid commercial for Saudi Arabia is what it really is.
Yes, and the key word is paid. They're paying through the fucking teeth for this shit. If they were already getting $50 or $55 million a show, what did they get for fucking King of the Ring and a live network broadcast into the unsuspecting homes of the brainless Americans who can be easily led to believe that we're actually nice people over here as a government, not a citizenry. Anyway, and now we also know that both of the winners of the King and Queen of the Ring will get title shots at SummerSlam.
What do you think of that?
I think it's great because that way you've got another situation where you can build for 2 months instead of Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. It's King and Queen of the Ring to SummerSlam, and why not? It's not overdoing it to do it twice a year.
It's interesting how many guaranteed shots there are now. Win the Rumble, win King of the Ring, get the Money in the Bank briefcase. There's multiple ways to slide into the main program or into a title match.
And they're still different. And at the same time, it does have ways to elevate people.
So you like it?
I like it. Do you not like it?
I like it. Hey, listen, we got to see 2 promotions do it in a week. So it's a trendy thing.
We'll get to that, but apparently a lot of people thought it was a good idea. And we don't want to spoil it. But anyway, so the first match, though, the Queen of the Ring semifinal, this was in Saudi Arabia. So we had Bianca in a bodysuit taking on the refrigerator in a deflated parade balloon. They're covered from neck to ankle and foot. Well, the feet are covered. Are they allowed to go barefoot? Is a woman legally allowed to be barefoot in public in Saudi Arabia?
I don't
That was
know.
not rhetorical.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know a lot of fans were in an uproar because I think there was a photo on social media of maybe it was Bianca and Jade at a beach in Saudi Arabia. And the idea that no women who actually live in Saudi Arabia would be able to do what they were doing.
So you
what they
can't,
were wearing.
you can't go to the beach over there either. Or they can't, their citizenry can't.
I don't know exactly what the rules are, but by all accounts, it's very much a male-dominated culture, and the women don't have many rights.
Well, and this is what happens when people place an irrational level of goddamn importance on religion and their various ancient fucking teachings from when people thought leeches was cutting-edge medical technology. But I digress. And also, they got new commentators. Did you see this? Fubar Makafakaloob and Slapko Fudd were gone. They had two new guys, Jude Bon Jovi and Fazil Mugwump.
I think Fubar and Slapko have been gone a while, though.
Well, nobody told me.
Well, I don't believe anyone's found the remains. It's Saudi Arabia. You never know. Hey.
You know.
Bonesaw.
If anybody finds enough to identify, can we get updates on Fubar and Slapko? Anyway, did you ever hear they asked Natalie Wood if she wanted to take a shower on the boat? She said, "No, I'll just wash up on shore."
Not only is that an awful joke, but the timing, all these years later, to come up with a Natalie Wood
it reminded me with the disappearance of Fubar and Slapko.
Do you think she was murdered? Do you think he murdered her?
You know, something went on. We don't have time to sub-reference, but that smelled like a goddamn donkey's ass. Anyway,
Bianca versus Nia Jax.
Yes. And here's the first thing I'm going to make an editorial comment about today is with Nia Jax, I'm about to say, fuck this fat, ugly bitch.
Whoa.
But no, fuck her. Because, no, Bianca's got the bad leg that the refrigerator was working in the match and blah, blah, blah. And they build it where Bianca gets her up on her shoulders for her finish, but her leg collapses, quote unquote. She kind of dropped her backwards and fell forwards. But I wouldn't want that load of shit on top of me either. But then this giant overstuffed recliner couch with legs jumps up and drops all of her weight back first on Bianca. Just not the senton or swanton, but just when they just jump up and land on a motherfucker. Dropped all her weight back first on her boob, and she was selling facially very believably. And then she drags her over and gives her a bonsai drop that looked worse. It was, did you see this at all?
I did, and maybe the bonsai drop the next night took away a little bit of the steam from the night before, but...
Well, yeah, that's where I'm going to be editorializing, commentating on that one too, but no, fuck this fucking fat bitch. I guarantee you that she would do me that way or anybody that was going to stand up for themselves one time, and elsewise there'd be some goddamn issue. If they didn't want to handle it at the office, somebody'd handle it in the fucking locker room. That's ridiculous. And it's not necessary, and it wasn't needed. If she can't work the shit, anybody can come in and say, "Here, let me just fucking hit you as hard as I can," or throw you down in various ways as hard as I can, or land on you. Fuck. Fat fucking douchebag. Anyway.
I have not heard you rant about a wrestler like you have her.
No, this is way too much. And again, these aren't fucking, you're not talking about Road Warrior Hawk or Dr. Death Steve Williams. These are 120, 130 pound fucking women. That's an internal injury. Ribs, you've got that will fuck your back up too, even if you're laying on your back, because of the unnaturalness of it. That suddenly 300 and whatever pounds this fucking buffalo weighs is coming crashing into your midsection or on your chest or whatever the fuck. No. And I don't know why somebody wouldn't be talking to
because she's The Rock's cousin, for the same reason she has a job and that she won Queen of the Ring.
Hey, I had one of The Rock's cousins in OVW. I can't remember what his fucking name was now, but I told him he was the shits because he was the shits. That was 25 fucking years ago.
You also had Rocky Johnson in OVW. That didn't work out so well either.
And when we told the office that he was the shits, actually, to be quite honest with you, too, because he was. Well, you've got to call the shits. And I don't care who somebody... if anybody had done this level of unprotected fat ass dropping on somebody, especially a woman, in any promotion I've ever been involved in, they would be spoken to about it. And if they didn't do it anymore, we're all good. And if they did do it again, their fat ass would be in the car out the door. Jesus. Anyway, so they had a 6-man tag team of the Prophets and LA Knight and Waller and Theory and Carmelo that came out of the Waller effect. And I don't know what the fuck. And
you know, I like Waller, obviously a whole lot more than you because you completely don't like him, but I don't mind him. He grew on me. The biggest issue is his character is kind of like a kayfabe version of, like if you said to a wrestling promoter, create a Logan Paul-like character who's just like an annoying social media twat, this might be it. So he's kind of playing a character based on someone who's really there, who's better as a wrestler than anyone else. I
don't get the Logan Paul either, though, because Logan Paul is so good at everything. Whereas Waller is, no, he has a nondescript look, a fucking goofy, nerdy haircut, a bad physique. He's annoying in an annoying way. And he can't, in my opinion, work a goddamn lick. And I've given up watching Theory because of Waller. And then they put Hayes in there with them, and poor LA Knight. How did he go from goddamn title matches and whatever the fuck to wallering in this goddamn cesspool of mid-cardism? And then did you see that Ford was going to splash Waller and beat him with a splash off the top rope where he goes like 25 feet in the air, right? Well, Waller sees that Ford is about to land with both of his knees in Waller's nuts, and he raised his knees like you would when you see that your nuts are about to be, you fucking scrunch up, right? And it was a goddamn splash off the top, knees to knees. Boom, and then he just covered Waller and pinned him anyway. But I'm surprised they didn't break both their fucking, all four of their fucking, whatever the math is on their legs, on something like that. So then what I thought was the high point of the evening's festivities, Cody came to the ring. And he gets huge chants, right? Big, the crowd. And think about this, the American Nightmare. I guess that's bad. The American Nightmare sounds like American Carnage or some kind of anti-American propaganda. But he's red, white, and blue and everything, and the people in Saudi Arabia love him. Maybe we're doing some good, with these people over, because the average people, I'm sure, are normal over there. It's just whoever's running that fucking joint. So he's about to speak, and then Logan Paul interrupts. And he talks his way to the ring. And the story being that he gave his brass knuckles to Adam Cole or Michael Cole. And he promised he won't use them. And he's a man of his word. Word is his bond. And Cody he's blistering him with the fact that he is an outsider. He's calling him a cosplayer, if you will, was one of the terms he used. Imposter syndrome. And he said, we know that you've got another set of knuckles. As a matter of fact, why don't we have one of the referees check you, Logan Paul, to see if you got anything? And humming. Well, do Cody first. And Logan Paul is great. Check every crevice of him. And then the referee checks Logan Paul and finds a set of knucks in his pocket. And then he's like, these are my brother's pants. It was like it was pulled over on fucking cops. And he's just brilliant. And so he can go from being the arrogant, overbearing asshole to the cowardly, backpedaling weasel when he knows how to switch fucking emotions. And then Cody fired up, did a babyface promo just as good as Logan Paul's heel promo was. And it was great. And and I wrote at the time, as long as they've got segments like this on their television programs in the WWE, where these people come off as stars, the performances are good and believable, it's not chaos and video game violent madness or people reciting goddamn either scripted things in their head or stuff that people has told them to say with no emotion. That's why AEW looks like cable access, and it's only going to widen out as they rely more on indie-minded people over there trying to appeal to the audience they've got left because they failed at getting the wider audience that eats this shit up and doesn't care whether this is the only thing they see in 2 hours. You see where I'm going with this?
There is a pretty wide, whatever you want to say, dichotomy right now between what WWE is producing, how it looks, how it comes across, and what AEW is producing and how it comes across. For the biggest time since AEW has existed, there really is a break between number 1 and number 2, and it feels like it when you watch the show.
And, that's unfortunately, kind of the way it probably was always going to be, but they could have made a more valiant effort over there down in AEW All Friends Land. Anyway, we're going to finish up. Go ahead.
Let me just say about this segment, I continue what I've been saying. Logan Paul's my favorite guy in WWE. He's so good at everything he does, even the minor stuff. I mean, this is right out of Memphis. Search the guy to find a weapon. I saw Eddie Gilbert do this in Global in 92. With Bruce Pritchard as his manager, as a matter of fact. So this is nothing new, but it came off perfectly. It was done really well. Logan Paul never slips. Facial reactions, what he says, demeanor, body language, let alone everything he does in a match. He never slips. He's my favorite guy in the company.
And it's amazing that you can tell. Was he a fan as a kid, or has he been cognizant of it, since he's been in the big time of the social media world, or what the fuck? Because he's got the instinct psychologically of what you do when you're a heel, etc. I don't know. But anyway, we also got bodysuit Bailey and covered up Chelsea. And a little more drama with the Bloodline in that Paulie was telling Solo that Tonga Loa wasn't there because he couldn't cross the border. I guess get into the country, but it's like you can't just cross the border from somewhere to Saudi Arabia anyway, can you? I mean, from America.
Oh, no. They don't take too kindly to people who cross the border.
Yeah,
they don't take refugees. They don't take too kindly to any outsiders coming into their country.
Well, but he's dangerous. And Paul's saying these people are very dangerous that you're bringing into the Bloodline. They're dangerous people. Dangerous. And Solo says, hey, until Roman comes back, I'm in charge. And then Tama Tonga comes in and kind of tells Paul off, and there's tension. What in the world is going to happen?
It's good tension. It's good drama. Everyone's dying to see when Roman Reigns comes back what's going to happen. Solo's continuing to tease the ridiculous idea that he's talking to Roman. And Heyman, we're finally getting to see this role of Heyman we've never seen before. Just the vulnerable Paul Heyman.
the vulnerable. He's so vulnerable.
But he's been great. And he always looks older when Roman's not there. No, it's obviously a strategic thing. When Roman's not there, the hair gets grayer. The skin gets more pale, not pale, grayish, I guess.
That's from lack of circulation. And actually, the embalming fluid probably also tends to give him somewhat of a pallor. But yeah, you're right.
I like this stuff. I mean, it's got to pay off sooner rather than later. It can't be Roman's gone until SummerSlam. I mean, he's got to come back at some point, but we'll see.
I just want one goddamn Samoan There's one specific Samoan I want. They won't give him to me. We've seen every other Samoan in Samoa, but the one Samoan I want. Give me just the one Samoan, and my
Oh, come
heart
on,
will
stop. No.
truly glow.
You're in a bad mood today, remember? Stop singing.
Well,
I'm thinking about
I'm thinking about my Samoan.
He's not your Samoan. He's not yours.
My Samoan. Oh, my little pretty one. A pretty one. When you
Well, listen, let me stop you here, Doug Feiger.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this. How big of a number do you think it's going to do on SmackDown, under the assumption it'll be there, when Roman Reigns returns and they announce it in advance?
Well, but now, I've said before, I think that they ought to be trying to pull something or something. Something needs to be happening. Some major turning point in the bloodline and whoever they're fucking with at the time. And maybe they've done something to Paul, or maybe they haven't, depending on where it's going, and let Roman show up and let the people lose their minds and fucking see that goddamn reaction. That would be kind of like a Paul E. old ECW surprise that he then did to death, to a point where everybody expected a surprise on every show, and but that would be a fucking pop to have Roman come back and declare who's with him and who's against him somehow. I don't know where they're going. They're doing a good job with it. Who am I to say? Would you like to go to the main event?
Yes.
Well, in that case, let's skip the rest of this shit. No, the main event was the King of the Ring qualifying match between Randy Orton and Tama Tonga. And honestly, it was kind of a foregone conclusion at this point because of who the opposition was. We weren't going to see Gunther and Tama Tonga. That would be one of those Markish type dream matches that an inexperienced booker would make because, oh, we've never had that before, and it would fucking mean nothing for business and potentially hurt one or the other of you, two of your big fucking heel fucking spots. So no, we knew, but they made it make sense also because, they gave Tonga a competitive, match with Orton to try to again elevate him, because as we mentioned, he's still the fucking new guy. Even if he's impressive, blah, 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 he's still the new guy. Orton's an icon. And especially here where they don't just see Randy Orton all the fucking time. He got a superstar reaction. And Orton's maybe the best main event worker in the business now because he gets the most out of everything. That's the Rip Rogers in him. And he's not killing himself, and he's in all the fucking main events and doing everything that needs to be done, and the people are going crazy. So anyway, boom, boom, boom. They finally, he fucking Solo popped up, and he got pickled, and Tama Tonga got a little schoolboy in a 2 count, and then Orton hit the RKO out of nowhere. Big pop, 1, 2, 3. And then they tried to get a little heat back on Orton, and Owens hit the ring, and Kevin Owens hit the ring and saved Orton to keep that they're friends, and boom. And that's easy to digest, easy to understand, and logically progresses everything along instead of, bringing a Zamboni into the ring and cluttering the whole goddamn thing up. And people loved it.
Well, that was SmackDown for the people in Saudi Arabia from WWE.
And do we even know, again, I know, well, that's been several days now. So where were the ratings? Did this show do a good rating?
Hold on. I have not looked, so let me...
Well, that would, while I will explain why I'm asking that question, nobody risked their goddamn life except for the people who fucked up a couple of the moves and anybody that worked with Refrigerator Jax, but there was no unprofessionalism. Nobody was hospitalized. Nobody was busted open hard way. Nobody was set on fire. Nobody was thrown through various pieces of furniture and almost impaled. And they probably had, I would say, either 3 or potentially 3.5 times as many people watch this program on television as the Wednesday night offering, the top offering from the other company, where a death is imminent. Have you found the information yet?
SmackDown, May 2nd on Fox, 8 to 10 p.m. On average, 2,147,000 viewers.
Almost exactly 3 times what 700,000 is, which is what they got the last couple weeks on fucking Wednesday night. And it was shot like a goddamn network production in a big building. It's not the friendliest looking building over there in Saudi Arabia for television, or it's not camera friendly. It looks like they're in a giant spaceship hangar, which may be what they're using that thing for. When they don't have an event in it, they're hiding their space program in it.
Hey, AEW Rampage, May 24th on TNT. It was a preempted airing, 6 to 7 p.m. as WrestleNomics.
So no, what? Hold on.
A preempted airing.
And God, let me just make this point again. It's like government intelligence and jumbo shrimp. It doesn't make sense together. If you're preempted, you don't air at all. If you air at a different time, you are a differently scheduled airing.
Well, Friday from 6 to 7 p.m., on average, 222,000 viewers.
Oh!
The lowest total viewership for Rampage in the show's history. And there were 2 episodes with a lower key demo number, which was a 0.08. So that's Rampage.
When do they get to hash marks? As soon as the new renewal comes in.
And Collision, just to get everything out there.
Just lay it all on the table. Let it all hang out.
The day before the pay-per-view, Saturday, May 25th on TBS, 8 to 10 p.m. On TBS, not TNT. On average, 415,000 viewers.
So 415 and 222 is 637. And what'd they do, 713 last Wednesday? That sounds like a number I remember.
711, 713, something like that, yeah.
Okay, well now you've just thrown all kinds of 637 and 713.
I remember a 1, and I think it may have been a 3, but it could have been another 1.
But, well, God damn it, hold on, thinking straightly. 637 and 713 would be 1,350,000 people. They still need another week of Dynamite to get to 1 episode of Smackdown.
Well,
all righty.
That was the ratings report, the off Dynamite ratings report.
You know, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what. I know that most normal people, their appetites would have been ruined. Ruined, I say, by what they had just seen. But no, mine was not, because I'm a hearty individual, but also because I love steak. And Father's Day is coming up, and little Harley Quinn has already ordered me. My shipment arrived of the Omaha Steaks just the other day. And we almost lost them because of the power outage, but thankfully they arrive not only frozen in hermetically sealed wrappers with the dry ice, which is another one of those hat on a hat type of phrases, and they were frozen, and we put them in the freezer, and they stayed for the 2 days, just gorgeous and succulent and lovely and juicy and flavorful and aromatic. Well, you can't smell them when they're hermetically sealed and frozen, but once you cook them, they smell like $1 million. Actually, no, have you ever smelled money, Brian? If you really hold it up under your nose, it stinks. So these things smell good. The point is, Father's Day, did I mention, is right around the corner. And what do you give to dad or to the man in your life that has potentially everything besides penicillin? You give him food that he can consume off the grill. So put a smile on the big guy's face and bring that cattle byproduct right to him, courtesy of the hand-selected gift packages starting at just $89 over at omahasteaks.com. When you use the promo code JCE, which is important to remember, you're going to get an additional discount on top of that. Now you're almost talking free cow and free pig and free barnyard animal processed, packaged, and ready to go right in front of you, where you can put heat, fire, the essence of life on it, and let it sizzle until it becomes aromatic, and then chew on it and swallow it like a savage. You can pick from premium proteins like the juicy pork chops, the air-chilled chicken, or the beefy burgers. And you know, Bri, you know what you like. You like their big, throbbing wieners, don't you?
I like their
Those
frankfurters.
big, juicy.
Their frankfurters, Mr. Pervert. I don't know where you're going with this, but they have delicious jumbo franks that I highly recommend. Throw them on the grill.
And
they are delicious.
there you go. And then you could put the franks with some beans, and you'll love their franken beans. Go to omahasteaks.com right now and use the promo code JCE to get an exclusive savings, a discount over and above the already reasonably priced food products that you will be purchasing for a memorable experience for Father's Day for the man in your life, whether he is procreated with you, whether he's shooting blanks, whatever the case, whether you're just friends and getting an occasional on the side, whatever, just give him some meat.
Who are you selling this
Give
to right
him
now?
the meat this time. For all of the women out there who want to recognize the man in their life, or potentially men who want to recognize.
Well, why don't
the
we
man
talk
in their
about the
life.
men who want to recognize their fathers? That's usually a good way to start talking about Father's Day. You want to get your dad
Well,
something nice?
What about it? Well, let me tell you something, Daddy. That's right, Mama, brother. I'll tell you, brother Jack Daddy. So regardless, and you know, women like steak too. They've got the bacon wrapped fillets. Those are succulent and juicy and tender and delectifying. So it doesn't have to be for Father's Day. Get your wife a goddamn steak. What are you, a prick out there? Think that you're supposed to get all the presents on Father's Day? Get your wife or girlfriend or daughter or niece or other cousin, female cousin. Get some women some steaks and things.
Future fathers.
And future well, run.
Run? What do you...
Run from being a future father.
Oh, stop
If you've been
it.
able to avoid it up until now.
I thought you were saying as the name of the organization. The
No,
Future
you're
Fathers
almost-
Run.
If you have avoided becoming a father up until now, the finger hadn't been put on you, you have not been adjudicated the loser in a DNA test, then you've escaped until now. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, but if you're already a father, you're going to get some steak on Father's Day.
That's right. And where can they get that steak, Jim?
They can go to omahasteaks.com and use the promo code JCE for, again, reasonably priced purchases with an additional discount, because we know you on all these gourmet gift packages. And boy, howdy, what about the sides? And they got steakhouse fries are back. We got some of the steakhouse fries.
I haven't had those yet. How are they? Have you had them?
Were they not in your box?
They're in my box. I just haven't cooked them yet.
Oh, well, they're goddamn good. It's what they are. That's about the only way you can say it. They're just lip smacking good. I had that's the first thing that I ate on the last box.
You use
the
ketchup.
last package.
You use ketchup with your fries, right?
Oh, come on.
I can
What are
take-
you, a savage?
I can
You're
take
some
that either
kind of-
way. Do you
You're
not?
some kind of plebeian. Ketchup. What do you got? The taste buds of an 8-year-old?
You don't use ketchup with French fries?
Well, now if you're talking about the seasoned steak fries,
Oh,
then
the
you
story
got to dip
changes.
them in a little ranch dressing, because they're a side unto themselves.
Well,
If you're just talking about some kind of cheap French fries at a ball game, I guess you could stick them in some ketchup. Beaver
I don't think there's
Cleaver.
I don't think there's anything wrong with ketchup. I think it's a requirement for French fries, and it's a requirement to get your food somehow now based
It
on
is,
everything we're saying.
yes, ketchup is a gateway condiment at best. It'll lead you to the hard stuff, but it's pretty much a goddamn basic fucking condiment.
You look at me. I started with ketchup. Now I'm snorting horseradish.
Well, see that you gotta take the steps. You gotta ever increase. You go to ranch dressing, you go to the Russian dressing, you go to the horseradish, you go to the various types of spicy dips. Chick-fil-A sauce is what I understand a lot of the poor people are using these days when they can't afford the high quality stuff you get on the street corner.
That is good stuff. And of course, you could use any of this good stuff that's legally available in your grocery store for your Omaha Steaks, burgers, fries, hot dogs, or jumbo franks, as we call them. And of course,
hot dog
steaks.
Yes.
Tell them, Jim.
Use the promo code JCE in order to make yourself happy and heavy and contented and full.
That's right. Make yourself a happy with Omaha Steaks.
A happy will make you a happy. OmahaSteaks.com, promo code JCE, Brian.